in order to take my girlfriend out for a nice dinner, I had to make some money. So that's why I started.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
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 Very good evening, sir.
Evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Actually, today I just got a call from B2B website, sir. Trade Link One website, sir. It's a Trade Link website, sir.
Sorry, with this. Give me 1 minute.
1 second.
What's a now tissue paper?
Okay. Somebody is talking.
Yeah, I have muted. Someone is talking. You can open your mic and.
Okay, sir. I am Sadanand. I somebody is missing. Should I proceed, sir?
Yes, sir. I am seeing two Sadanands here.
Okay, sir. Correct. Okay. I am the same person, sir. As you told in the beginning of the day, you had told you choose your own product.
Right.
Now today I finalized with the spices because I am staying in Pune. So
Very good.
Maharashtra and Karnataka, I belongs to Karnataka.
Mhm.
So now today, the whole day I spent with the spice board registration, how to go and all the things. So now, since I am being a trader, certificate I am getting it, but I am procuring the product from some manufacturer. So in that case, what is my next step for testing and to satisfy the spice board?
Testing depends on the buyer requirement. What are you going to test?
No, again, that's what I don't know. I'm a blank
That's
about
what.
it. No.
See, when you are offering something, you can offer along with the test. This
Okay.
is my quality parameters. You can check
Okay, sir.
if it is
Okay,
suitable for
I
you.
got it. Now the
Or-
brand,
or-
the brand. Okay, sorry, sir. Sorry, go ahead.
One thing is you can also offer the quality and this is my specifications.
Okay, sir.
The item and specifications.
Hmm.
The next thing, sometimes they will ask you, okay, can you send me one test report of this product?
Okay, sir.
If that is the case, then you can get it tested, send them, and they will look into that product.
Okay, sir. Okay. Got it.
Now anything happens for every product.
Uh,
Either you offer that is acceptable, then they will talk to you, or they can also, if you talk about a product, they will immediately ask you, can you give me the specifications?
okay, sir.
What are those specifications? So
Okay.
depending on that, they will take a decision.
Okay, sir. Now the brand is not, sorry, sir. Another brand is not belongs to me because when I'm buying from some other manufacturer, that brand is in his name.
Okay.
How to go about it?
Are you talking about a masala or whole spice?
Whole spice, sir. Whole spice don't have any product.
Whole spice, no need of branding.
Okay, sir.
You can sell
Okay,
it
okay,
as
got it.
whole spice, there is no branding.
Okay, then
Of course, if you want to brand it, you can brand it.
but the moment I branded that in India, I am a manufacturer, no, not that way.
Nothing like that.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay. That was a confusion for me.
Even I told you various brands like Puma,
Uh,
but like the other brands, certain brands, they don't have the manufacturing.
okay, sir.
Nike gave an example.
Get it.
Don't worry about the brand. You can create your own brand.
Okay, sir. I straight away I can
as per your requirement.
straight away I can buy from the agriculture and export qualities, test it, and take the permission from the spice board and send it.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving it.
Next,
All right. Good evening, sir. Jatin here. So,
Jatin.
I was wondering today that we can even export water from India to some countries like Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. So there are, two main kind of waters. Like one is mineral water and the other one is packaged water. So what are the HS code of this packaged water?
Water you can see. I have not seen the code. Even you can export breathing air.
Absolutely right. I checked one company, Vitality Air in Canada, and they're selling air. They're selling air.
Himalayan air, we are exporting it.
Oh, okay.
क्या
Okay,
नहीं कर
so-
सकता है, सब कुछ जा सकता है.
हाँ, हवा भी बिकती है सर अभी.
हवा भी जा रहा है. हवा का कमी से कितना लोग मर गए आजकल.
Agree.
Agree, sir.
Agree. Ajay sir, this garlic powder and turmeric powder, which council does it fall into?
कौन सा?
ये turmeric powder and garlic powder, which council? ये कौन सा council इसको handle करता है?
Anything related to spice board.
अच्छा, spice board. All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, right.
So one question from me.
Yeah.
So I have this IEC code, which I took it 2 years back. But today when I went to validate it, it gave me two options, one through an Aadhaar and other through digital,
Right.
that you can validate. Now, when I went through Aadhaar, it was asking me all the PAN numbers and all.
Correct.
And when I exactly the same to same, I have taken care of. But then it showed me it failed. I tried 3-4 times, it failed.
Is it your Aadhaar number is having a number of your mobile number and
Aadhaar number is there, mobile number is linked to the Aadhaar number. Same number it is. Same number is also there in income tax PAN number. Email address is also the same. Name is also the same. But then it was showing me as failed.
Then no problem. You can raise a ticket on the DGFT side. They will respond.
Help desk.
Okay.
Help desk. Okay, next.
Sir. Thank you.
Can you see somebody was asking na Himalayan hair?
Yes, sir. I can see I can see Himalayan Air Cant Pure. Yeah, it is selling. Right, absolutely.
Even air and hair also we are exporting it.
Oh, okay, sir. So, sir, which country can be exported to this air?
Whoever is breathing, wherever people are breathing and are breathing out.
Absolutely.
Tell me who is not breathing.
Absolutely. Everybody is breathing. Absolutely right. But all people need is the fresh air these days, which has the scarcity.
Coming days, the way you are carrying the water bottle, you are going to carry the oxygen bottle also.
Agree. I agree. I
The
agree.
days are coming like that.
Sir, these things must be first world requirements only, I guess.
Yes.
Sir, granite slabs and granite blocks do come under same EPC, sir, Promotion Council.
Same promotion means
Promotion Council, sir, Export Promotion Councils.
that is Capexil. CAPEXCAL, capexil.com.
Both blocks and the slabs comes under one council, sir.
Blocks, slabs, granite, minerals, all comes under the Capexil.
CAPEX.
CAPEXCAL.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes,
Sir?
Sweta Singhal.
Yes, sir. I mean, this is, related to the first question, related to the spices. You said we don't need to create our brand. So when we do not need to create our brand and these spices are of, export quality, so we can send it in a plain packet and return that, it will be a plain package or how it will be like.
I don't say that you don't need a brand. If you want, you can create the brand. Suppose somebody is asking you, okay, na ilachi 25 kilo pack chahiye mujhe.
Okay.
Are you going to make a branding?
No, of course.
So it depends on the volume. Sometimes they will ask 25 kilos. 25 kilos, but repacking in their own brand. So it all depends on your client requirement.
Okay.
If somebody is asking masala, I want 100 grams pack or 200 grams, 500 grams pack. If you want to brand it, brand it. Otherwise, they will ask you to brand it.
Okay.
Sometimes they will ask you, okay, can you supply in my brand? If the opportunity comes, don't leave it. You can do the branding also.
Okay, we can do their branding. And is there any regulations when we are doing their branding? Do we also follow, there are some Indian regulations also?
Yes, same we have to follow. FSS is required, wherever your product is undergoing on the mission. Food processing is required. Okay, next.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Prashant.
Please.
Sir, good evening. My question to you is, I had already registered IC code since 2000 and it was under interior design. So it was in design. So for other communities, can I use the same IC or should I have another IC code?
What do you want to do?
Pharma and spices.
Spices वाला डिजाइनिंग का बाद में बोर्ड
हाँ गलत दिखेगा. I do understand. So is it okay to have another IC code? Is it okay to have another IC code?
Yes, you can go for another company registration. You cannot take another IEC means you have to do all the process, same process.
But again, for this, do I need to get another certification for FDA or FSSI that registration? Is it important?
Depending on the country where you are selling.
Okay, then I'll check on the net. Thank you. Thank you very much.
If something is undergoing any processing, then it is required. For example, rice you don't require.
Okay. But medical things, the FDA requires, right? The licenses. I mean the devices, and I'm talking about not pharma exactly. Only the devices like blades, surgical blades.
The devices again depend on the country requirement. Country to country.
So normal cotton gauze and bandage and stuff like that. Bandages like stuff.
Not a problem.
No problem, no? So no need. Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll see later.
Sir.
Now it is
Good evening, sir.
Already 7:10 now. We'll go to the subject. If anything, we'll clarify because most of the things we have already discussed. Again, we are coming with the same day one. I'm going to reiterate all this in the next session. I'm connecting all the dots which I have discussed from the day one. Okay, shall we go to the subject?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So far, we have discussed all the subjects, right from the starting the company, finding the buyers, financials, commercials, government role, risk management, digital marketing, even the doing small business. All this we have covered, and we are left out with one single point: is how your goods will travel from your place to your buyer. Isn't it? Who is going to take care of this? So as in the beginning also I told you there is a service provider who will be taking care of your all these activities by custom brokers, or earlier we used to call custom house agents. So today we have it as one of the customs agent or custom brokers. They are authorized here, and I welcome Mr. Chandrasekhar. Where are you? I am not able to find. Oh, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me pin here.
Yeah, give me the sharing, sir. I mean, I can share, I think,
1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, I can. Yeah, you can try, sir, in the meanwhile.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it, sir?
Yeah, welcome, sir. Welcome to this 6th day, the starter now. See,
Okay.
friends, you need to have two important partners with you. One is bank, the other one is the logistics partner. Logistics take care of total, right from your doorstep to the custom clearance, everything they will take care. Though it is called in different languages, people call a custom agent, custom broker, CHA, or logistics, or different people, they call in different name. Ultimately, the role of this, you want the service of moving your goods from your place to wherever to send the goods, whether it is FOB or CIF or DDP. All this will be taken care by these agencies, and they will take care of all the activities. They will give you finally, okay, we have loaded your goods. This is the proof of my shipment, your shipment. Then after that only you will be sending the papers to your client. Okay. So let us listen from Mr. Chandrasekhar. They are the authorized the custom brokers, and they are serving to many industries. More than a decade they are into this field. And Mr. Chandrasekhar Chauhan is the managing director of the Admiral Logistics Group in Hyderabad. They are also having various offices across India and other countries also. Let Mr. Chandrasekhar speak of where they have the offices. See, the role of their role is to make your job easy. They are the real drivers of your shipment. They are going to drive your shipment. What are the part you have done, you have done. Once you have packed, your job is done. Then your cargo should be taken over by them, and they will drive to up to your client. So you need not go to any airport, any seaport, or see the consignment. Hand over the responsibility to them, they will take care. So that way, Mr. Chandrasekhar is going to give us the overview of what is the technology, what is their activity, what they do for us, including the containers, how it looks, what type of containers. If you have that idea, that is enough. People will ask you, can you give me in 40 FCL? What is FCL? What is LCL? What is 20 feet? What is 40 feet? All this he will take through us. Let us listen to Mr. Chandrasekhar. Then, as usual, we will take the questions at the last. Once again, welcome, Mr. Chandrasekhar, and over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for the wonderful introduction. And I really appreciate for giving us a chance and opportunity to be a part of your program, and giving us a chance to give the presentation on what logistics is all about. Thanks once again. And I congratulate all the, I should call us students. I see that 161 students on the platform. I hope you're all having a nice session, and I hope I'll also do justice to my presentation. Well, my name is Chandrasekhar Chauhan. I'm the managing director of a company called Admiral Logistics. We are based in Hyderabad. We have pan-India offices. We have overseas offices in China, Malaysia. We have offices in East African countries. And overall network of agents. We have agents, network, connection throughout the world. In almost all the countries, in almost all the airports, in almost all the seaports, and all the inland locations as well. So we have a network of all the agents. We have a network of our own offices. That makes a full logistics service company for us. You name a country, you name a place, wherever you like to have a service, we are there to serve you. We are there to handle your shipments from door to door. Okay, fine. So coming to the point is like today I'm going to give the presentation about logistics. What is the role? What is your role? And how we handle your shipments right from the pickup till the delivery. And what are the processes involved? So let's discuss and let's start. So I'll just talk about what is the role of our international logistics companies. When we're dealing with the logistics, it's international. Okay, when we're doing handling exports and imports, so it's going out of India and the shipments coming out of from other countries into India. So the role of logistics companies is the movement of the cargo from the exporter's place to the importer's place. Fine, including the customs clearance, including the transportation at the pickup side and at the destination side.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, can you make it full?
Yeah.
Next one.
Okay.
Right.
So who are all involved in the transaction? Like that main people are the exporters and importers. Without these people, there's no transaction at all. The exporters place the order with the importers place the orders with exporters and vice versa. Okay. So the exporters are the people who are sending the cargo, and the importers in the other countries who are receiving the cargo. Fine. So let's say if you are an exporter in India, then you are exporting the goods out of India. Then who are all involved? And letters, you have people like clearing agents. Just now, sir clarified that CHAs and the custom brokers are the same. And then you involve, then you have customs office department. Then you have shipping lines. Then you have air shipment. Then you have airlines. Then you have freight forwarders. Then you have the transport companies. These are all the people. These are all the stakeholders involved in moving your shipments from the point A to the point B. Okay. Then what are the services involved? The services involved are exports and the imports. Mode of shipment. Like, what is the mode of a shipment? How is a shipment moved? Many people know by road and all. People who are new to the industry, they must know that the shipments are moved by air. They must be knowing that shipments are moving by sea. The shipments are moved by road as well to the international destinations, like neighboring countries, Nepal, even Bangladesh for that matter. Okay. What are the types of cargos? What are the types of cargos are moved in the transaction? It could be a general cargo. General cargo includes everything, like whatever you name the cargo, which are not restricted, which are not prohibited in the customs law. Those are all general cargos. There are some non-hazardous cargo. This is all also called non-hazardous, which is not dangerous. They are called non-hazardous. What are hazardous cargos? Hazardous cargos are flammable cargos, like, which are danger in nature, which may explode, which may corrosive, volatile, all those kind of cargos. There are specially treated cargos. There are DG cargos. Okay. There are cargos like perishables. What are perishable cargos? Example, fruits, flowers, seafood. There are perishables. They move in a time-bound manner. Okay. Oh, these are the important terms which you come across when you're dealing with the international transaction, like export or import. You might have heard about seaports. Then you have customs clearance. Then you have customs department. Then you have shipping lines. As I was telling you, these are the stakeholders. The freight forwarders. Oh, see, I will like to clarify. Like the logistics companies, the freight forwarding companies, the CHAs, the custom brokers are almost doing the same job, but there's a thin fine line in between differentiating. Like, customs house agents and customs brokers are same. Okay, customs brokers, what do they do? They only exclusively do the customs clearance. Fine. What are the freight forwarders? Freight forwarders are the companies who handle the transaction from the port to the port. Okay. And what are the logistics companies? Logistics companies means, they might be handling everything, right, from the pickup till the deliveries. Okay. So people might get confused. Sir, I come across customs brokers, I come across freight forwarding, I come across logistics companies. I know are they different between each other? The difference is this, what I've told you. Logistics companies handle everything, right from pickup till the door. Whatever process involved, they handle it. You might come across inland container depot, ICDs. When you know seaports, then you should know about ICDs. Seaports are all like Navasheva. Navasheva is a name of the seaport which is in Mumbai. Okay, JNPT is in Mumbai. Example Chennai port. Example, if you go to Calcutta port. Haldia port. When you come back again to the west side in Gujarat, you have Mundra, Kandla. Then you have Hazira. Then you come down to the south. Then is a Cochin port. Then it is a Tuticorin port. Okay, this is the examples of the ports. Now, what is ICDs? ICDs are the locations where there is no port. Okay, it's called a dry port. It's called a ICD. ICD is inland container depots, which are located inland. Inland is which are away from the port. Okay, like example, Hyderabad is an ICD location. Bangalore is an ICD location. Nagpur is an ICD location. Okay, these are the examples of ICD. Then you come across CFS. What is CFS? CFS is container freight stations. These are the places where the containers are stored, like ICD. ICDs are the locations, ICDs are the places where there is no port. CFS is the places where it is nearby to the port. I mean, it's just near in the vicinity of the ports. CFS. The role of CFS ICDs are almost the same. They store the containers. The customs clearance departments are based there. The customs clearance is done in those same locations. The objective and the profile is same. CFS is located near the ports, and ICDs are away from the ports. Like, as I said, Hyderabad, Nagpur, and Bangalore example. Okay. Okay. Now, let's see if you are moving the containers by sea. How do you move the cargo by sea? If you have a cargo, now you want to move, you have an export, you have an import, now you want to place an order. How the movement is done? The movement is done if it is by sea. There are two options. As I said, sorry, there are three options. The first one is the sea, the second is the air, and the third is by road movement. Okay, the sea movement. How is your cargo moved by sea? You cannot just dump in the cargo onto the ship and allow it to go. It's not at all like that. The cargoes are loaded onto the containers. They use containers to move your cargoes. Okay, what are the containers? Many people might be knowing containers. You might have seen on the roads. Many people might be from the audience. I think many are doing the trade. They might have seen. They might have personally checked. The cargoes they are personally loaded. They supervised, inspected, whatever it is. So these are the cargoes loaded into the containers. These are different type of containers. You see this container is a 20-foot container. So what is a 20-foot container? The length is a 20-foot container. Okay, the other dimensions are the same. So you can find the dimensions here of the container. Let's say you have an order. Like, what do you do? How do you decide that what kind of container I need? And what is the cargo weight and how many containers I need? These all calculations. This all the homework is done by the logistics people. When you call them for a meeting, then you and logistics people sit across. They find out what is the requirement of your buyers. They find out what kind of a logistic services they can give. And in the process, they decide what kind of containers is required. So especially, this container is 20-foot container. Let's say you have a cargo of 25 tons. Okay, it's a dense cargo. Why 20-foot containers are used? Especially the containers, 20-foot containers are used to move the dense cargos, which are heavy cargos like machineries. Okay. Now here, sometimes, this is calculated by volumetric as well. The maximum volumetric weight which is carried in the container is 33.2 cbm. What is cbm? Cubic meters. Okay. How it is calculated? Length into breadth into height, 1 meter into 1 meter into 1 meter. It is 1 cbm. Okay. The dimensions of the container. The length is given, the width is given, the height is given. These are given in the meters. Okay. This is for general your understanding. Now comes to the 40-foot container. What is a 40-foot container? 40-foot container, the length is 40 feet. Okay. The other dimensions are same. The height and the width is same. Why 40-foot is used? You see the cargo weight, the maximum capacity of the cargo into the 40-foot container is 27.6 tons. This is just general. It varies, from container to container, shipping line to shipping line. It varies within 5 to 10%, not more than that. Okay. And there are some containers which are heavy duty containers, which may go beyond, like this is 25 tons. There are 20 feet heavy duty containers. Heavy duty containers can carry up to 30 tons. Even 40-foot heavy duty containers are available. They carry up to that too also 30 tons. Now you may ask me a question, sir. How come this 20-foot and 40-foot both are carrying 30 feet? 30 tons, and whereas the lengths are more. Yeah, that 40-footer, especially these are containers used for moving the volumetric cargoes. What are volumetric cargoes? Especially the less weight and the volume more. Like example, furniture. If you see the furniture, like you want to export or import sofas. What is the size of the sofa? Sofas are very big, and the volumetric weight is big. Their actual weight is less. Okay, so for let's say any other cargos, like lightweight cargos, are loaded into the 40-foot containers. Okay, coming back to the third type of container. This is called open top containers. Open top containers. What do you mean open top? You can see here the container, the top is open. You can see the cargo is loaded and the height is little bit more than the actual dimensions of the container. So this kind of cargoes are required to be loaded into the 40-foot open tops. There is no other way. No, you can't use this 40-footers, or you can't use this closed containers, because you cannot push these containers, or you cannot stuff or load into these containers from the front door. You need to be dropping those containers right from with the crane on from the top. Okay, you have a machinery which is in the height. Okay, there's a limitation for the height as well as when you are using the open tops. See, this is a height. The height you can see. This is little bit more than the actual dimension. So what do we do? The solution is use open top containers. Okay, you might come across many cargos like this, outsize. When there is an outsize in the height, if there is a odd size in the length and in the width, then there are different type of containers. We'll come back to that. See, these are the flat track containers. Okay, these are the flat track containers. You see the sides are open, the top are open. Only the front and the back is there. These are called flat. The cargoes which are ODC in nature, in the height and in the sides, these flat track containers are used. For example, there's some machineries. There are some transformers, the furnaces, which are used in the industries. There are many type of cargoes such like that. For that, the flat track containers are used. Okay. See, you see this, how they handle, they will tie with there is something called lashing, after placing the cargo onto that flat track, there is a lashing they are tied with a rope. Okay. And then they are exported. See, there is another type of container called reefer. What do you mean by reefer? Reefer, you might have heard about this. This is a refrigerated containers. Like I said, there are perishable cargoes. Suppose you want to export vegetables, you want to export fruits, you want to export flowers, you want to export some pharmaceutical cargoes, which are to be refrigerated, which has to be kept in the refrigeration with certain kind of temperature control. Okay, you can see this is this is called a refrigerated container, and you can see this is a temperature control device, and in that device there is a temperature control system. Okay, you can let's say 18 degrees, let's say 15 degrees, let's say you have 10 degrees to maintain, let's say minus 10, minus 30, minus 40. Everything is managed and controlled within this container. Okay, this is called refrigerated container. Let's say you have this is not actually a flatbed which is written here. In the flatbed, this size is not there. Suppose you may ask me a question like, if there is a cargo where is the height is more, the width is more, the height is more, then what is to be done? Then there is a solution. You can use the flatbed container where there is no sides and no front, no back. It's just a flat bed, wherein the cargoes are protruding outside. Then it is tied with a rope and the container is picked up and loaded onto the ship. That is a flatbed containers. Okay, just now we finished with the types of containers. Okay, now let's talk about types of packing. What is this types of packing? Many might be familiar about corrugated boxes, many might wooden boxes. Why wooden boxes are very fragile in nature. The glass related, the ceramic related items, which are very delicate in nature. Okay, these are the drums. when the drums are used, pharmaceutical comes some chemicals, chemical powders, liquids, semi-liquid, semi-solids, everything is used in the this drums. Okay, you have pallets. Sorry, I missed that. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay, this is a pallet. Okay, you might have known, you might have seen this. The cargoes are placed on that. Why pallets are used? For handling the those cargoes. You might have seen the forklift. I will just talk about the equipment as well. We use a forklift. Within the forklift with the arms is just used to lift these pallets. These pallets, the cargoes are stored onto the pallets. Okay, and similarly, simultaneously, it's pushed in. It is loaded into the containers. While unloading, it is very easy to carry. With the forklift, you can lift, you can push, you can pull, everything you can do. So we finished with the packing. Now, let's talk about when we come across the types of services, like types of in sea freight, like when we talk about sea movement, there are different types of modes. Like you might have heard about FCLs, full container loads. What we have talked about, the container size of types of containers, what you have shown you is all the FCLs. That's called FCLs. In that, there are TEUs. What is TEU? 20 equivalent units. For 20-foot containers, it is called as TEUs. And FEUs, that is 40 equivalent unit. That is called 40-foot containers. So any cargo which accommodates into the containers are loaded and moved into those containers. But when the question arises, there is very little cargo for you to export. You cannot afford a air freight. You cannot afford to send it by air. You say that, I have a cargo which is very less in quantity, but I cannot afford to give you a air freight charges. I want to move it by sea freight. Then what happens? There is some service called LCL mode of service. What is LCL? LCL stands for less container loads. So whenever the cargo is lesser than the container, okay, so we use LCL services. What do we do in the LCL services? We accumulate, we consolidate the cargoes from different customers. Okay, then we consolidate and we load it into the container. Okay, with different customers, different types of cargoes are loaded into the container, and it becomes a FCL now. Then it is shipped out. What happens at the destination? The cargoes are unloaded similarly for 10 different, 15 different customers, and then they are delivered. Okay, so in this LCL services, this kind of operations is being handled, and your cargoes are exported in the LCL service type of service. Okay. Then now we have, for example, like we like to talk about just for your knowledge sake, there are so many seaports in India. Okay, just we like to give you an example. What are the seaports? Where are they located? Majorly, they are, you might have been knowing and hearing about it. Like, where are the seaports and what are the name of the seaports, and how many seaports are there in India? Especially, there's a question like, everybody is curious to know. So we just made a list. There are the ports like, Nhava Sheva port, as I was telling, Nhava Sheva, JNPT, there are 2 terminals. There are GTI, there are 3 terminals. Okay. Then there is a Mumbai port. This Mumbai port is specially for handling a break bulk service. Okay. I'll just talk about break bulk service as well. I think I missed in the previous presentation. I'll go back to that and I'll explain you that also. Mumbai port, there are some ports in India, especially for break bulk. What is break bulk? They are not containers. The break bulks, they are huge in quantities. Commodities like rice, maize, minerals, they are huge machineries, which cannot fit into any kind of containers. then what you do, there is an option, and that is called break bulk services. In break bulk services, the cargoes are stuffed into 1 ton gunny bags. There is a bags of 1 ton jumbo bags, or it is depending on the buyer's requirement. If buyers say no, the cargo has to be stuffed in 100 kg bags, 50 kg bags, 1000 kg bags, or whatever it is. They are stuffed, they are packed into those bags, and then they are directly loaded into the ship. Okay, that is called break bulk service. So this Mumbai port is the oldest port in India. Sorry. So this is basically used for the break bulk services movement. And you have Mundra, which is there in Gujarat, Kandla, Hazira, as I said, is in Gujarat, Kolkata in the east, India, Haldia. Chennai is a familiar port, everybody might be knowing. Kattupalli is a new port which has just come recently. That is, I think, about 4 or 5 years back. Tuticorin is one of the oldest port again. Krishnapatnam is again the new port. Vizag is an old port, Cochin. These are the few examples, of the ports in India. I'll just explain you. Yeah. See, the break bulk service, what I was referring, I missed this. Now I want to cover. I just explained you how these break bulk services are handled. And this is a picture of a vessel which is carrying a break bulk cargo. You cannot see the cargo. These are all loaded into the deck, under the deck. Okay. These are called hatches. These are covered with the hatches. Even in a small drop of water does not enter into the deck. That is how his arrangements are done. Okay. The entire ship is carrying the cargo. Cargo, the various kinds of breaker cargoes. There are partitions inside again. The lower deck, the middle deck, the upper deck, something like that. This is a picture of that cargo ship. Okay, now we will talk about what are the various equipments are involved in handling the shipments, in export. What are the equipments, how the cargoes are handled at the ICDs, at the CFS, at the ports. Even the same kinds of equipments are handled at the destination side as well. Okay, these are called the container cranes. These are the inbuilt cranes. These are the jumbo cranes, which you can see in the ports. These are the gantries, also called gantries. You can see containers, how they are picked up, and they are loaded onto the ship. This is a forklift. This forklift is used to lift the palletized cargoes when the pallets are used. I've shown you the picture of the pallet. And other, this is a picture called Kalmar. This is a mobile. You can say the crane, mobile crane. You can say, because this is it can go to any of the interior location, the yard. In the yard, the containers are loaded somewhere in the corners. Okay, they have to go inside. They have to shift the containers. They have to lift. They have to drop down. The Kalmar is used to do such activities. And this is different types of trailers. Let's come back to the trailers now. What are the trailers? You have seen many trailers on the roadside, carrying containers. This is one of the trailer. This is a low bed trailer, and this is a refrigerated trailers. You can see. These are the few examples of the trailers where the cargoes are moved. Okay, coming back to what are the key points, like what exactly you need to take care when you're dealing with the logistics companies, when you're dealing with the your buyers in terms of logistics. What is that you really want to know about it? Okay, see, the operations happens this ways, like if this is FCL cargoes, the sea freights are charges per the container basis. Now, coming back to the point of the financials, like how you say that okay, I want a container, like how you charge this. Okay, then the containers are charged on the basis of per container basis. Okay, how per container basis is freights are decided with the shipping lines, basing on the 20-footer, basing on the 40-footer, and basing on the distance. Let's say the distance from Nhava Sheva to Dubai, Nhava Sheva to New York port, Nhava Sheva to any African countries, Nhava Sheva to Singapore, Indonesia, anywhere. These are general calculations, like the more the distance, the more the freight. If it's a direct vessel, it's a more freight, because it will reaching on time. If a transshipment vessel, the more the time it takes, it takes the freight is less. It is something like that. But basically, it is on the nautical miles. The more the nautical miles, the more the freight. Something like that. The freights are calculated on the basis and per container basis. You say, I want a container to Jebel Ali port, which is in UAE. Then okay, the freight is from Nhava Sheva. Now you are based in Bengaluru. Bengaluru has how many three gateway ports. The Bengaluru has many options to send a cargo. The first option is Chennai, which is the old option. Now Krishnapatnam. They use Cochin ports as well nowadays. Sometimes they use Nhava Sheva also. Some urgent cargos they have. The vessels are not working out in these ports. Then they move the cargo to the Nhava Sheva port by road, especially. And there are connectivities. From Bengaluru they have rail service. Bengaluru road service. Different kinds of service. So what happens, like you have a cargo from Bengaluru, but the freight when they quote is from the port side. Okay, from the port. Now Bengaluru customer is sending a cargo to Jebel Ali port. So what is he doing? He is sending the cargo to the Mumbai port, Nhava Sheva port. So the freight is calculated from Nhava Sheva port to the Jebel Ali port. When the shipping line quotes to you, it is an ocean freight. The rest of the charges are different. That is given by the logistics companies. When the freight comes into the picture, it is always between port to port. Okay, that is called ocean freight. And the ocean freights are quoted in dollars, always in the dollars. So how the process happens, the process is like this, the containers, as I said, ICDs, Bengaluru is one of the ICD. Now you are based in Bengaluru, you are an exporter, you are a manufacturer, you want a container. So what happens? You give an order to the logistics company. Logistics company plays an order with the shipping lines. Who are the shipping lines? Shipping lines are the owners of the container. Shipping lines are the owners for the ships. Okay. So logistics companies place an order with the shipping line. Shipping line gives a delivery order. With the delivery order, for the logistics companies pick the empty container from the ICDs. I already explained to you what is ICD. ICD is an inland container depots, okay, where the empty containers are stacked, where the loaded containers are stacked. It's a storage unit, you can say. It is a parking as well, where the customs department also is based. The cargo de-stuffing, stuffing. The cargo stuffing is also is undertaken in ICDs. When the import containers comes into Bengaluru, the containers goes to ICD. The import cargoes are de-stuffed into ICDs. What is the role of ICDs? It's a station where all the containers are there. The loaded, the empty containers. The de-stuffing, there are the warehouses within the ICDs. Okay, the containers, the cargoes are de-stuffed. The cargoes are loaded as well. The people who are not taking the containers to the factories, they get the cargo from the factory into the ICDs. In the ICDs, the cargo is loaded into the containers. Okay, the ICDs is a place, or it's a custodian for customs, where they're responsible for all the containers, incoming, outgoing containers. Okay, so the empty containers, when you place an order with the logistics companies place an order with the shipping line. We take the container, empty container is taken on by that. We hire a transport company to move the container. The container is placed on the trailer. Trailer moves to your factory. Okay, when it comes to the factory, you do the stuffing process. Okay, after doing the stuffing process, then there's some documentation is there. Okay, you have to give some documents to the logistics companies for customs clearance. When the container comes back to the ICD, the customs clearance process is undertaken in ICD, and where parallelly and simultaneously the customs filing process is also done by the logistics companies. Okay, so then as I said, the cargoes can come to ICDs. Like why the cargoes can come to ICDs? Why not everybody takes the containers to their factories? Some factories are very small. Some factories don't have that. The turnaround, the movement of the containers, trailers. The trailers are 40 foot. They can't move inside. Because they are basically they are small. They don't have space to park the containers, trailers, and containers as well. So in that case, they want to send a cargo to ICD. Okay. So then what it becomes a ICD stuffing. The earlier case, what it becomes a factory stuffing, because a container is going to the factory. That is called factory stuffing. Then coming back to the LCL, how the LCL is charged, LCL is charged on the CBM basis, again, the ocean freight. In a container, as I said, in a 20-foot container, it is 33 CBM, which can be accommodated. Let's say your cargo is 3 CBM. So what happens? The shipping lines, the logistics company quote you certain ocean freight. Let's say Jebel Ali again. Ocean freight is $10 per CBM, $20 per CBM. So in case of LCLs, the ocean freight is calculated on the CBM basis. Okay. In FCL basis, the ocean freight is calculated on the container basis. Fine. I hope you got this point. And one more thing I'd like to tell you, all of you, please make a note of any doubts you have, write it down. We definitely have a question answer sessions, and I'm definitely going to answer to all your queries. You don't have to worry about anything. Okay. Yeah. So you might have heard about Incoterms. I think Koteshwarov sir might have already taken this class about Incoterms. Incoterms is international commercial terms. Okay. These are the terms which basically when you do a buying and selling on the basis of Incoterms, you give the quotation to your buyers, and the buyers also take the quotation from the sellers on the basis of the Incoterms. Especially the majorly and commonly used Incoterm is CIF. Okay, what is CIF? CIF is cost, insurance, and freight. What is the cost of the cargo is involved, insurance involved, and the freight. The freight, how it is calculated? You have taken the quotation from the logistics company and you have included the freight into the cost. Okay, so what happens? Yeah, generally, the quotations, you call the logistics company, you ask for you give the requirements, the logistics companies quote you, they ask you all the questions, port of loading, port of destination, then the logistics companies give a lot of options, like, the frequency of the vessels. Generally the frequency of the vessels are once in a week, twice in a week, thrice in a week as well, different liners have different frequencies. So what you do is, you take all the shipping lines, their frequencies, the transit times, and you choose the best option. Okay, let's say the cargo is ready on the 1st of this month, July 1st. So what will happen? You are in Bangalore, then you need to stuff on 2nd, you do the customs clearance on 3rd, and from 3rd to 4th or 5th it is moved to Mumbai by road, and let's say generally 2 days 48 hours before is a cutoff. What is a cutoff? The vessel is scheduled to sail on 10th of July. So what is the cutoff of can hand over the container in the port is 8th of July. You will come across the terms like cutoff, ETA, ETD. What is ETA, ETD? ETA is called expected time of arrival of the vessel. What is ETD? Expected time of departure, when it departs from the port, when it arrives to the port. These all the schedules are given, with the timings as well. General timings, timing doesn't is followed and it is not proper always, but generally it is given, but there is a variation. Sometimes there is a days, nowadays due to pandemic, vessels are not arriving on time, vessels are not sailing on time. So, but generally ETA, ETDs are there, the dates are fixed, the berthing is fixed, so the sailing is fixed, and the particular dates are fixed. For one liner, and the other liner might be, you have an option like, so if your cargo is ready, as I said, you're stuffing on 2nd, 3rd you're doing customs clearance, 4th you're moving, 6th it is reached to Mumbai. It is very well in advance before the cutoff time. Okay, you have reached your container, the container reached to the port on 6th, so you just get in the container into the port. This is all handled by logistics companies. Okay, I'm just telling you, this process is, you people have to know how your container is been handled by them in the sense in the logistics companies. Okay, so on the 6th the container is moved into the port. Okay, the 8th is a cutoff. After 8 they will not accept any containers. Okay, the 10th is a sailing. The 10th container is sailed from the port, from the JNPT port. It is going to Jebel Ali port. So transit time of Jebel Ali port to Jebel Ali port from Nhava Sheva is 4 to 5 days. So after 4 to 5 days, the container is reached to Jebel Ali port. Okay, fine. This is just a process which we wanted to explain you. These are all there. The notes will be given by sir. You can ask all this presentation, he will give it to you. This is all I've already explained during this now conversation, and the clearance part, the the movement part, the offloading part in the ports, the containers are loaded onto the ship, and ship is sailing on time, and all these things. Okay, these are the pictures of the ODC cargoes. Like as I said, this you see the huge cargoes, like how they are loaded onto the container. You see, this is a flatbed container which I was referring to. The picture was actually of the flat rack, but I will do the correction there. This is the actual flatbed container. You see, there's a huge shipment. It's a furnace which is loaded onto such. This is a container from which is starting from here to from here. This is a trailer actually. Okay, this is a low bed trailer, and it is it's a special equipment. Especially, it takes a lot of efforts and costs involved to move this cargo, Okay, let's talk about more about reefer containers. Okay, as I already told, but still I'll read out this for you. A reefer container is a short form for refrigerated containers. Simply put, reefer containers are big fridges that are used to transport temperature control cargoes such as fruits, meat, fish, seafood, vegetables, dairy, and also non-food products such as flowers, pharmaceuticals, and film across many miles in oceans. Some cargoes may need to be shipped chilled or frozen or in controlled plus temperatures. Reefer containers have the ability to maintain the cargo at the required temperature for the duration of the transit. Okay. Reefer containers are bottom air delivery units designed to distribute chilled air from the floor via specific T-step checking, with the advantage of producing a consistent and a uniform flow of air across the entire shipment, powerful enough to ensure a perfect air with the goods. You see how technically this air is distributed from the floor as well, from the side panels and everything. Okay, this is just an example of reefer containers or temperature control related to the products. How much temperature can be maintained depends, as I said, depends from the product to product. Example, apples. When you are exporting apples, then the temperature to be maintained is -1 degree to 4 degrees. When bananas, then -13 degrees to 14 degrees. Mangoes 10 to 14 degrees. Beans, cabbage, melons, butter, cheese, eggs, fish, meat, etc., etc. This is just for your knowledge purpose. Okay, now we just finished the session on the sea freight, sea movement, sea cargoes, types of equipment, types of packages, types of trailers, types of containers. We spoke about the seaports. We talked about the process involved in handling the entire container process. I took an example of Bangalore ICD movement to Mumbai, from Mumbai to Jebel. We have all discussed about this. Now let's discuss about the air freight. This is another mode of transport. The first mode of transport we discussed is sea mode. Okay, the next mode of transport is air. What do you mean by air? It is moved by air. It is moved in the aircrafts. Okay, generally the cargoes are moved in two types of aircrafts. The first one is a passenger aircrafts. Passenger aircrafts, there are percentage of space allocation in the aircrafts, which is for the cargoes. The second type of flights are the cargo flights, which are dedicated only for the cargoes. Okay, you might have all be knowing about this. There are jumbo aircraft which are coming crisscross the countries. Even Bangalore is coming. Almost all the airlines are operating in Bangalore. Almost all the airlines now operating in Mumbai. In Hyderabad. Mumbai is already a hub of everything. All types of shipping lines, all types of airlines. Everybody is operating from Mumbai. Delhi, you name everything. But there are some international airports. Not every airport is an international in India. Example, Mumbai, Hyderabad is international, Mangaluru is international, Chennai is a Calcutta, Delhi. Example, these are the international airports. What do you mean by international airports? Where flights from international different countries are landing into those airports. The operations between direct from those airports to the international airports is being handled by those airports. Those are international airports. Whereas there are many domestic airports, what they do is some cargoes handled from the domestic airports till the international airports. Let's say Goa, let's say Pune. Okay, let's say small locations, Coimbatore, okay, let's say Kanpur, Nagpur, something like that. What happens? You hand over the cargo in the Nagpur, let's say. Nagpur has a domestic flight from where? From Nagpur to Mumbai. The customs clearance is done in Nagpur. The cargo is moved by a domestic flight to a international airport, to Mumbai. From Mumbai, it carries in an international flight. These are called interline arrangements. This is between the airlines to airlines. They tie up with the domestic airlines and the cargo, because the customer wants the entire service from by air to air. Sometimes what happens, the cargoes are sent to the international airport. They don't want to get the operations to be handled from the domestic airports. They want the operations to be handled directly from the international airports. The cargoes are moved to the international airports. From there, the cargoes are handled, customs cleared, and directly it flies from the international airports to the other end of the international airports. This is the pictures of a containers. You have seen the sea containers. Okay, these are the air containers. The cargoes are not just loaded and dumped into the aircrafts. No, they are first loaded into the containers like this. These are the standard containers. Every airlines use the standard containers because the aircraft and the internal dimensions are built according to this kind of air containers. Okay. Okay, now see this for your general information. You may not require to know all these things, but fine. What happens when you hand over the cargo to the airlines? The airlines will load onto the containers. The size. What is the sizes of a containers? Dimensions of a air cargo container dimensions. Okay, you'll get all this information. No need to worry. Don't have to take pictures or don't have to write it down. We will give you all this information. Okay, how this when you are dealing with the air freight, what are the important points to be taken care of? The most important point is how is it charged? How this air freight is charged for your cargo? Many people get confused with the charge. Okay. The basic is the volumetric weight and the chargeable weight. What is a volumetric weight? Volumetric weight is calculated with the dimensions. Okay, they measure the dimensions and they measure the dimensions. They arrive to the weight. What is the other weight? What is the actual weight? Actual weight is just calculated on the weighing machine. Okay, a weighing machine, you kept a cargo on a weighing machine, it says 40 kgs. When you measure it, it says 50 kgs. So what is that airlines going to charge? They're going to charge whichever is higher. Okay, it is 50 kgs volumetric weight. Okay, whichever is higher. Let's say now when the volumetric is low, let's say volumetric weight is showing 30 kgs, your cargo is showing 50 kgs. The airline is going to charge on the higher, that is actual weight. So people get confused. See, I have sent a 30 kgs cargo. You people are charging 40 kgs. What is this? You need to understand the airlines operations are based, this pricing is based on the calculations on the volumetric and the chargeable weight. Okay. There is a formula which we will share with you, how this calculations, you arrive to the calculations that we will share to you. Like, you have to multiply with into 6 by 6,000, something like that. We will share to you. Okay. Now it's needless to discuss, but I'm just trying to make you understand that what is the advantage of air cargo and the sea cargo. Of course, air cargo moves fast. It goes into internal inland locations. Sea cargo is from port to port. Sea cargo is much economical, but it goes very slow. Air cargo is very fast. What kind of cargos are used in air cargo? Basically, the most urgent shipments. Okay. Like some medicines, some nowadays you see the vaccines, they're all moved into the air cargo. Wherever you feel like samples, some samples have to be sent to your buyer. You are selling your product. He says, send me the sample. I want to see that. I want to check. I want to verify, inspect. If I'm happy with the quality, I will give you a big order. The big order could be in a sea freight. All the samples, what you send, is all by air. It doesn't mean that, you cannot move big shipments by air. It depends on your requirements. It depends on your time frame, deadlines, but it's very expensive. If your buyer is willing to pay you the charge, he needs the shipment, then it can be worked out by air as well. Okay. Now coming to customs clearance, let's talk about customs clearance, like how customs clearance process is being done. What is that we do when we collect your shipment? What is that next step is taken by the customs brokers? There's a document. If you are an exporter, you are exporting a shipment, then the customs broker do a filing called shipping bill. There's a document, customs document. This is a shipping bill wherein all the details of your shipment, right from the shipper, right from the consignee, right from the number of packages, damages, pickup location, destination, weight of the cargo, type of a container, and number of containers. Everything is mentioned in the shipping bill. If it is an LC, okay, LC might be explained by sir. LC number, invoice number, okay, everything is mentioned in the shipping bill. This shipping bill is filed by the customs brokers, and once it is filed through an ICE gate, there is a domain, customs domain. Okay, we use that custom. We have a login password. We use that. When we file it, it goes to the customs department. When customs department check everything, then what happens? Physically, the documents are given to them. There is a concept called nowadays e-Sanchit. What is e-Sanchit? In e-Sanchit, you will upload all the documents. Because for the ease of service of customs clearances, these documents are filed and uploaded in the e-Sanchit. Then the customs there at the other end, wherever the customs is, they check the shipping bill, the documents, they verify and everything. Okay. Then they go and check the container. They do the physical examination of the containers. Okay. Now coming back to the important point. There is now a system called e-sealing. Okay. When you want to do a factory stuffing, there you need to get registered with the customs for e-sealing permission. What is e-sealing permission? E-sealing is they'll provide a seals to you. Okay. With the seal number on that. So these seals are given to you when you register. There is a process, big process for e-sealing registration. This e-sealings, after you do the stuffing. When container comes to your factory, you do the stuffing. You fill the container with your cargo. You close the door. You put the e-sealing. Okay. You put the e-sealing with your hands. Then you put the number into the documents. So the customs have given you the authority to put the seal by yourself. Okay. This is a whole process. When you get the permission, you can do it. So what is the advantage of that? There is no need of verification. The customs only will do the e-sealing verification. The e-seal number is tallying with the number mentioned in the documents. Okay. Then they will that ends the matter. There is no physical examination, but subject to if they have any doubts, like if they want to check, they have the right to break the seal. They have the right to open the container. They have the right to offload all the container, do the thorough checking as well. Okay. E-sealing permission doesn't mean that you can do. I mean, I'm just telling you, people misuse the e-sealing services also. E-sealing permissions are not given to everyone. They are given to the regular exporter with the track record. Your track record has to be good. Your turnover has to be good. It's basically to establish a reputation. You are a reputed customer in the market. You're financially, transaction wise, you're good. They will study everything. Then they will give you the e-sealing permission. I'll share you the e-sealing certificate. How does it look at? Okay, coming back to the point, when the cargo comes to the factory, when the shipping bill is fine, the assessment of the documents is done while cross-checking with the physical documents by the uploading documents. They do the examination. Suppose you don't have a e-sealing permission, then you have sent a cargo to the ICDs or the ports or CFS. Then the physical verification of the cargo is done. That is called examination of the goods are done. Okay. Then after that, when they satisfy, when they feel that everything is in order, then they release the shipment for export. That's called let export, LEO. That's called let export order. Means the cargo is permitted to export. Okay. In case of imports, what happens in imports? Imports container comes. Similarly, the bill of entry is filed. In the case of exports, the shipping bill is filed. In case of imports, the bill of entry is filed. Okay. Then, when the cargo is cleared in imports, then that is called the final. The final stage is called out of charge. Means you can take the container now. Okay. Provided you pay all the fees and all. We'll come to that. I'm just talking about the customs clearance, the role of customs department in clearing the shipments. Okay. This is okay. Now let's come to the role of a CHA. Okay, what does a CHA does? I've covered little bit here and there when we're talking since beginning. I'll put across all the points at one place now, and I'll explain you. What happens is when you meet, like let's say you want to export, like you've still not got an order, but you're looking for your buyers. Then you need before looking for your buyers, you want a buyer. Buyer asks for a quotation. Then what do? You need to look for a logistics cost as well. Then you look for a logistics company. Then you happen? You call them. You give all the required information. You need a freight to quote to your buyer. Unless until it is Ex Works. Let's say your buyer says, I'll take care of entire logistics. You don't have to worry. You give me the X factory, though you don't need a logistics company there. Buyer says, no, I need a cargo on CAF basis, FOB basis, DAP basis, DDU basis, DDP basis. These are the terms on the Incoterms. Please go through, please study, become thorough in the Incoterms. This is very, very important. Okay. Basing on that, the costing is based. Basing on all the disputes are also related to the Incoterms. If you are not familiar with Incoterms, there will be a lot of issues with the buyers. Okay, try to understand Incoterms thoroughly. Okay, now when the Incoterm says that it's CIF, other than Ex Works shipments, then what happens? You need to immediately call the logistics guys and take the costing. Then include the costing. Then quote to the customers. Fine. This is the consultation done with the logistics companies. The logistics companies, what they do when they collect the documents, they advise you on the LCs, POs. They study the LCs. What are the terms and conditions mentioned on the LCs has to be mentioned in the bill of lading. All these are put into the bill of lading. The terms and conditions mentioned in the LC should tally with all the shipping documents. This is the rule. Okay. So purchase order document terms and conditions has to reflect on the bill of lading. There has to be an alignment with all those documents with the shipping documents. Your all documents, exporter documents, information has to reflect on the bill of lading. This is a document released by the shipping lines. When you hand over the entire cargo to them, the bill of lading is issued, which is a receipt for your cargoes, which is a negotiable document. This document is couriered to your buyers. The buyer has to produce this document with the shipping agent to collect the cargoes. Okay. Then what happens? Filing of the shipping bill is done. The clearing of the cargo is done. Handing over to the freight forwarder. As I said in the beginning, freight forwarders are the companies who handle freight part from the port to port. Their services are given from the port to port. Okay. Now, when you appoint a CHA, separate forwarder, then this all comes into the picture. Otherwise, when you give hand over the cargo to a logistics companies, then you don't have to talk about CHA. You don't have to talk about freight forwarders. You just have to give it to, you're dealing with only a logistics companies. Fine. Then what happens? Shipping bill is filed if it is exports. Bill of entry is filed if it is imports. Clearing of the cargo is done. Okay. Handing over to the freight forwarder. What freight forwarder does? He moves the cargo. He hand over to the shipping line, the port. What shipping line does? Shipping lines, lift the cargo, your containers, and load onto the ships. Okay. After that, what happens when the shipment sails from India? The documentation like bill of lading is given. The closing of EGMs, EGM is Export General Manifest. Okay, what is this? But what is the process? This process is because when the container leaves out of India, there is a confirmation, okay, in the customs systems that it is gone out of India. Okay, there are certain benefits, okay, given by the government. When you file, you have to mention all those things. So when you get these benefits, when you export, when you export means what is a proof of export? EGM is a proof of export, that it is left out of the country. It has left the waters of India. Then if that is confirmation is given, your benefits are all immediately accredited to your account. Okay. Okay. The role of I think it is a role of a freight forwarder. Yes. Is a role of a freight forwarder is discuss about the freight part, give you the different options, different shipping lines, different ports. Basically the biggest part of discussion is the what is the nearest port for you. As I said, Bangalore has 3-4 options. Now what happens is you take the quotations for all the 3-4 options. Of course, you have to do that. Take the quotation, check the cheapest option, check the fastest transit. Either it is from Mumbai, either it is from Chennai, or it is from Tuticorin, or it is Cochin, Krishnapatnam. Let's say you are in Hyderabad. Hyderabad has 2-3 options, again 4 options. Krishnapatnam, Chennai, Mumbai, and Vizag as well. Then, like Nagpur has different options. Nagpur has Mumbai, it goes to Vizag also. So wherever you are located, basically you need to understand what is the nearest port for you. And is that port having a good frequency of sailing vessels? Okay. It doesn't mean that you are near to the port and that port doesn't have many options. You have to go to the bigger port. Bigger port has many options. The freights are less. It depends on a lot of factors. It's not that, see, in the beginning, it's quite difficult for you to understand all these logics. But when you keep on exporting, importing, then it becomes an habit and becomes very easy. And you will conclude a point that, for me, if I'm staying in Hyderabad, the best option is Nansha. If I'm maybe, for your cargo to some destinations you're based in Bangalore, it is the best option. I send it to Chennai. This is all over a period of time. You will finalize that what is the best options for you. But before, if you're new, then it is a lot of exercise to be done. A lot of exercise with sitting with the shipping lines, sitting with the logistics companies. Giving a best costing, the world is full of competition. Everybody has competition, and everybody wants to negotiate. They want to get a better rates. And then, logistics cost is about 10 to 15% in the whole transaction. Sometimes it's 20%. If you're letting go more percentage for logistics, then your profits are coming down. All these factors are there. So thorough analysis, thorough discussions, thorough investigation on everything is required to arrive to a best price for logistics. So you need to spend more time for this. You don't have to ignore, better spend time in the beginning. Later, definitely you'll understand. Later, definitely you'll be able to master all these things. So coming back to the point is, what is that freight forwarders does? They collect the cargo from the clearing agents. They hand over to the shipping lines. And the cargoes are, loaded onto the ships. Then what happens? They coordinate and they update, where is your container? Container is sailed. So and so date, 10th July, container sailed. It is in transit, it is going to reach on 14th July to Jebel Port. It is reached, all these informations are given by the logistics companies. All the updations you'll get. Okay. Then what happens at the other end, at the destination, when you might be curious to know what is happening at the other end. What is happened in the origin, the same process at the destination, because there is the same port, there is a customs department, there is a local transportation for the deliveries, almost the same process. The customs laws are different, the duty structures are different across the world, across countries, okay, but the process is almost the same. Okay, now what happened? This is a picture of a vessel in the port. You see the vessels are berthed. Both the vessels are berthed here. And now you see this. What is this? You can make out. Okay. This is an export container. This is a trailer. Okay. This is a trailer. This from the trailer, the container is picked and they are loaded onto the ship. You can see that. This is import vessel. Vessel has come from the different country. It is berthed, and all the containers you can see, the container is pulled out from the ship and loaded on the trailer. Okay, and it is going to the CFSs. This is the operations, how the containers are loaded. This is a container. This one was a Kalmar, pulling up the containers, the similar fashion, and you see the cargoes put on the pallets. Okay, these are carton boxes, and the containers doors are open. See the cargoes, how the cargoes are getting into the aircrafts. Okay, these are the containers which I was referring to you. Okay, these are the few pictures of the container movements. Like, as I said, container is moved by road, container is moved by rail. These are the picture of Indian container depots, how the containers are stacked. You can see that, okay, with the Kalmars, the picture of the Kalmar, the two Kalmars here. This is a picture of a JNPT port where you see the big gantries and, see this is the berthing, these are called voyages. The berthing places are allocated for the ships. The containers you can see there. This is the office, just for your knowledge. This is the customs office. It's in JNPT. It's in Mumbai, Nhava Sheva. Okay, this is a video which you can, I think I can play this. You see, this is equipment. How this equipment is loaded onto the container. We were talking about these open top containers. It's a video, I think is about 2 minutes, 1 minute. No, it's a big video, but I just stop it when it is completed its loading. You see, that's the open top. This is an open top container. See how the container from the top it is getting loaded. Yeah. So yeah, that's there. I think the video is of that size and fine, no issues. You people might have understood how this is loading on the open top containers. This kind of machineries you cannot load from the front. It has to be loaded from the top. Okay. These are the few videos you can just go through, like what is the loading, how is the loading is done into the aircraft, how is the loading done into the containers, unloading done from the train trailers, loading onto the vessel ships. Okay. And these are some documents you come across when you interact with the shipping companies, when you interact with your buyers or sellers, as the export invoice, packing list, bill of lading, certificate of origin, sea code, sea air import, air code, all those terms you'll come across. This is what I was referring to as a new facilities and given to the exporters. That's called self-sealing by the customs. Okay, I'll just share you this document. This is a document issued by a customs department for self-sealing permission. Okay, so once you get this, you have a authority to put the seal on the container. Now, to sum up, how your transaction has to be successful, how your process entire is without any hassles. We give you few suggestions. Everything has to be recorded. Keep an contract signed with the logistics companies. Let's have an agreement on a bond paper. What is their roles and responsibilities? What is your roles and responsibilities? Put it on a paper, bond paper. Have an agreement. Okay, and quality of a packing. Especially when you send a cargo by LCL, when you send it by air, you don't have to compromise on the packing. If you compromise on the packing, you look into some costing to save, your shipment entirely will get damaged. Okay. And do not ignore the insurance part. What happens is, if your shipment is not on CAF, if it is on CAF, okay, shipper will take care of the insurance. But when your shipments are FOB, many people forget to take the insurance. Okay. It's a very, very small thing. The premiums are very less, but make sure that when it is sailing, take an insurance from warehouse to warehouse. Okay. Always take an insurance from warehouse to warehouse. Everything is covered. Even in your marine is covered. Everything. The premium is peanuts, but the benefits are big. Your damaged goods will be, claimed. Otherwise, your cargo is damaged, you lose, that's a loss for you. Okay, this is the presentation. I've come to an end, and I hope and I feel that I have covered all the points. I hope that I've justified, and this is not the end from a presentation. It's a beginning of our relationship. We can be always in touch. You're always welcome to ask me any question anytime. Sir is there, I'm there. For any logistics requirements, you're most welcome. We are there for for a long time. Okay. So now we'll start with the question answer sessions. I hope you're all ready with the questions. I request sir to help me in sorting out these things.
Thanks, sir, for a valuable presentation and detailed presentation.
Thank you, sir.
So people are ready with the hands raised. Okay.
Okay.
So let us start with one by one and seniority. Kaushik.
Kaushik.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Sir, you can close the presentation, sir. Then I can.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll do that.
Hi, sir. Good evening. This is Kaushik, sir.
Yeah. Good evening.
Sir, I have a small doubt. See, if the buyer is asking me quotation from my place, so what should I give him the quotation from my nearest port or the port which he wishes?
See, as I told you, Incoterms is important. Then costing is important. See, if he is telling from so and so port, he is going to bear those charges. Let him. You do that. If he's asking the port which is nearest to you, which is workable for you, and the cost wise is better, then you decide.
Okay, sir. Because my nearest port is Chennai, sir.
Yeah. Then, so what is the customer is asking?
Yeah, that if he asks from Mumbai port means, so I should give the quotation for him from the Mumbai port, right? No, sir.
Yeah, of course. Of course, if the charges, see, you are limited to spend on your shipments. Like, you will say, sir, I'm in Chennai. Why I should? Okay, I'll hand over wherever you want, but you pay for that. Or you collect from a factory. Otherwise, I'll ship it from Chennai.
Whenever you are giving a quotation, write that your quotation is FOB Chennai.
Yeah, FOB Chennai. Okay, sir. Okay.
Or clearly ask them where do you want.
Okay, sir. Okay. Fine.
Options. Okay, next.
Avin Prasad.
Hello, sir. My doubt is, sir, whether the factory stuffing permission or e-sealing permission is handled by logistics or it should be handled by us.
Depends. You can do it. If you don't find time, give it to logistics. They will do it. But the major part, the documentation and part, you have to give it to them. They will follow up and finally get it.
What is your product?
They will follow up and finally get it. What is your product?
Sir, coir pith, sir. Coir pith and coir fiber.
Coir pith, you can take the goods and load it there. It's not a sophisticated item to take the container to your factory. It's not a sophisticated item to please stop one of your system.
Yes, sir.
Please stop one of your system. Who has signed in two instruments?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sandeep Goyal.
Signed in two instruments.
Sir, my first question was that the containers are owned by the shipping lines, or are they owned by some other organization?
No, there are different. Shipping lines owns containers in the ships, and there are companies called NVOCCs. They own specially containers.
Okay, and once it reaches our place, so the ownership remains with the original company. What is the shipping line's role? They have just transported it from the original port to the destination port, and after that it comes to the ICD, and from there it goes to the factory and again it is returned.
Yeah.
So the charges are based on the total time, or how are they charged?
See, the ocean freight is from port to port.
Right.
As I said, the basic on the geographical distance, the freights are fixed, and it is per container basis. And the charges from factory to the port is all given by, everything is given by logistics companies, different heads. Okay.
Okay.
Shipping line gives you a ocean freight. The logistics companies handle from the port till the your port, from the factory to the port. The total costing is given by the logistics companies.
And when we talk of the volumetric basis, the volumetric basis must be based on some average density.
See, volumetric is based on the measurements. Okay. L into B into H, 1 meter into 1 meter into 1 meter. Okay. If it is 5 meters into 3 meters into 2 meters. So 5 into 3 is 15, 15 into 2 is 30 CBM cargo.
Right.
So per CBM, they charge you ocean freight. Per CBM, maybe if you're sending it to Jebel Ali, example, $10 per CBM.
Okay.
This comes for sea freight. When it comes for air freight, there's a different formula. Okay. The volumetric weight could be more than the actual weight. And the air freight is calculated on the volumetric, whichever is higher.
And sea freight is not calculated on volumetric basis?
Yes, it is calculated on a volumetric basis. The formula is different for air freight. Formula is different for the sea freight. Because the container is big.
Big, yeah.
Okay. That's why.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Arshad Ali.
A very good evening, sir. Hello. A very good evening, sir. That was a lovely session.
Yeah, thank
you. My doubt is, like, if I'm trying to import something from China, my seller is giving me FOB from one of the China's port. So what is that I need to discuss with logistics?
It's a FOB, then you have to discuss about the freight with the logistics companies. Chinese,
the insurance.
Let's say Shanghai. From Shanghai, your seller is in Shanghai, and the terms is FOB. So your job is to take the quote from Shanghai port to, let's say you're in Chennai. Shanghai to Chennai is the quotation you have to take. Whereas the seller will give you the cost. They will include the cost in their cargo, in the quotation. In their quotation, when they sell the cargo, they will include from the port to from their factory to the port. Port onwards, that is your cost. If it is FOB.
Yes, yeah, no, I mean to say, like, when I need to give him the green signal to continue with the shipping, unless I don't have the confirmation of freight and insurance, I can't let him to ship my goods right now, sir.
Yes. See, after confirmation of the freight only, you will give instructions to the logistics company. Then only logistics company will give the container to the supplier, your seller.
Okay. What if you didn't? Please continue, sir. Please continue.
Then what happened about the insurance? The insurance is done by the seller from the factory to the port. FOB. From the port till your factory, it is done by you.
Okay. So what if you didn't able to make it to the port in time? My freight will be refunded, or I should forget about it?
No, it's not like that. It's not a question of freight will not be never be refunded. The container is reached port, you have missed the vessel, you have to wait for the next vessel. Okay. There any charges applicable, if it is if the mistake by the supplier, then he has to bear. I don't think there will be any mistake from your end in this transaction, because you have already given instructions to the supplier to ship the cargo. He has shipped, but he has delayed somewhere and the ship is missed it. He will have to send it in the next ship. Whatever the charges there, he has to bear it.
Arshad, where are you from? Arshad, where are you from?
I am from Anantapur, sir.
Anantapur, okay. If you want to get something, Mr. Chandrasekhar can also organize to picking up from China to bringing it to Anantapur.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I am also looking for vice versa also. What are my rules, my commands
can be done. Both can be done. I am going to share their marketing manager phone number, and I will share in the group. Okay, next.
Yeah, prices would be reasonable, no, sir?
You have to compare.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. My question is regarding CFS, dry port clearing. So I'm located at Hubli, Karnataka. So how it exactly works? Like, customs people are clearing here itself in Hubli?
Hubli, I think, you have to go to Bangalore, I think so.
Bangalore, no Hubli.
Okay, then is it better to get it cleared by Nausena itself, at Nausena itself?
Yeah, Nhava Sheva, you can send the cargoes to Nhava Sheva as well.
Okay.
See, what happens
Okay.
again, I'll tell you, if go to Bangalore, it has to go to the port again. If you are from Hubli, you're sending directly to the port, either to Chennai or to the Mumbai, you don't have to think about Bangalore.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
So it
Sachin?
better. Okay, fine.
Sachin?
Yeah, good session, sir. Thank you. But I had a similar question. I think it got answered because I am from Belgaum.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
as you said, then I think I will have to send it to Mumbai, which is the nearest port.
Yeah, Belgaum is Mumbai is the nearest port. Sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Chandrasekhar, I'll ask one question on behalf of them.
Yes.
Whether sending to Bangalore and giving it as a ICD cheaper, or sending by them by road to the respective port, for example, Mumbai, which will be cheaper?
Sending to Mumbai cheaper, sir.
Yes.
Good.
To the port directly, because including ICDs will be
Because if you send to ICD again, it has to go to the port. The transportation from Hubli to Bangalore and from Bangalore to Chennai port, that's a transportation cost involved.
Yes.
Straight to port is only one transaction is involved.
Correct. What about Mangalore? Mangalore is the new port. That's what I.
Yeah, Mangalore you have Mangalore is a port, is a container port as well as a breakable port. You can try from Mangalore also.
Mangalore also. Okay.
You can, if it is nearest, you can try.
Yeah.
But only the frequency of the vessels may differ.
Yeah.
Frequencies are less. You have to wait for 15 days or something like that.
Yeah, like
because my product is 100 kilometers from Mangalore, where I will be manufacturing. So I think then it can work out, but frequency will depend.
Yeah, you can discuss
we will see all the possibilities. Like at the time of your cargo readiness, if the vessels are ready at Mangaluru, then we can plan it out.
Okay.
If it's taking a lot of time and you don't have time, the urgency for you, send it immediately to the Nhava Sheva port.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Vishnuvardhan?
Yeah, hi. Good evening, sir. This is Vishnu here from Hyderabad.
Yeah.
While you have explained, when the stock is getting loaded to the cargo, okay, or into the vessel, if any damage happens to that material, or any damage happens, who will own this? If suppose I have given to you, okay, you have took the responsibility of shipping this, and if any damage happens.
See, it depends like where it is happening. It's happening in the port people are responsible. If it is happening in ICD people are responsible. If it is happening in the CFS, it is CFS which is responsible. After clearance, customs clearance, and the shipment is on the way to your warehouse, it is happening. Then the transport or the logistics companies are involved, are responsible. Okay. So whoever is handling whatever under what, whoever custodian is there at that particular time of transaction, those people are responsible.
And do we have these demarcations written? Is it black and white?
It's understood. Like, it is understood. Like, when the handling, while handling in the port damage happens, then it's port responsible. You don't have to prove the point that, you are responsible. They will come up on their own. They will do the survey. They will help you in claiming the good. That you can, claim the claims from them. You don't have to fight for proving that you are responsible.
Okay. And sir, there are certain instances where we heard that while ship is on the way and some containers fall into the sea. What happens?
That is why all these insurances you need to have, irrespective of whoever is responsible. I'm telling you. See, we can't fight with the government authorities. Shipping lines are big companies. There's you insure your goods along with everything. There are no insurance companies have come up with so many schemes. They are insuring the containers also. It's a peanut. 3,000 rupees if you spend for your cargo worth is $20,000. For $20,000, you're paying just 3,000 rupees. From warehouse to warehouse, you're covering everything, every risk, even the risk of containers falling into waters.
Okay.
What else you want? Why you want to hold somebody responsible, fight, waste your time? Go for insurance.
Absolutely. Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Mallikarjun?
Yeah. Hi, sir.
Hi.
I'm from Hyderabad. We are the manufacturers. So we may get into exports as well as imports. So in that case, I think based on the previous questions, what I understand, getting the material to Nhava Sheva is a better option for even for Hyderabad people also.
Yeah, yes.
Than the ICD.
Yeah.
So sending and getting. And then second is recently in the last case, we were done one import. In that we have returned the containers after it is stuffing at our factory. Then we have returned to ICD Sanat Nagar. But regularly we are getting a mail from Marsec people saying that dunning notice. So we are not understanding what is the dunning notice. We have paid all the charges at that time. They said everything is done. We have received the containers back to ICD. Then we are getting this dunning notice. When I'm replying to people, they are not responding. Marsec. The system generated mail is coming.
Dunning notice from where? Who has sent you?
Marsec.
Musk has sent it.
Yeah,
okay.
Musk.
So here, see, maybe why they send it is like your agent or clearing logistics people might have not offloaded the containers on time.
Okay.
See, there are some free times are given. Okay, if you don't unload the containers in the free time, then these things all will happen. What happens in certain times, like in the midnights, some timing factors and all the containers are offloaded. After 12 o'clock, their meters change. Their dates change. Later the shipping lines will realize that you have offloaded the containers after the 14 days free time. So what they do the recalculations and all. Then they find that you are payable of some charges. Then they will start sending you this. So you need to clarify with them. Take a report of all the containers which what time it is got offloaded into the ICDs. Then you can give an explanation to them.
Yeah.
So you take up with your agent, or if you want our help, you can give it to us. We will talk to the shipping lines. We'll try to find out what exactly is this matter, and we will resolve it. You better resolve it because this all are recorded. Okay. Yeah. If you ignore this, what happens is when next shipment comes, it will be kept on hold. Yeah.
Okay, sir. We'll get back to you.
Gagandeep. Hello, sir. Thank you for lovely session, sir. Actually, the whole process of exporting and importing, two most important and exciting points are when we get money, sir, and second part is the logistic part, and you covered it very well, sir. So पैसा मिलना चाहिए और sir logistic हो रहा है, sir. इससे बढ़िया क्या चीज़ है, sir? Sir, my question is basically it is a series of 2-3 questions, all connected. One thing, other than ECGC, there is another insurance which is required. One thing, this other insurance can also be done by our CHA agent, or we have to do it separately. Sir, thirdly, in the logistic part, for example, if we have booked a 20-feet container and our one part is fulfilled, that is weight is it is overloaded, we are constraining with that thing, not more than 24 or 26 tons of weight. The space left inside is filled with what? Because during the time of logistic, if it is movement is there, product inside can be damaged. So how to cover that, or how to protect that, sir?
This is called lashing. There's a term used. Lashing is like there's a process of packaging. There's tied with the ropes. When you go inside a container, you will find a sides hooks. Okay, and you see the floorboard is wooden floorboards. So your cargoes are only 75% loaded. You're on the floor with the wooden blocks. It is stopped. I mean, they will at the corner of the cargo, they will put the wooden blocks. They will nail it, and your cargo is tied up with the ropes from here until there. So the ropes will stop movement, and at the bottom on the floor, the wooden blocks will stop the movement. This is a process called lashing and choking.
So regarding
the insurance part is like better you do the insurance rather than telling to the logistics companies. Even logistics companies will approach the insurance companies. It's not a big validation service. It's a very simple. Nowadays, it's all insurance companies coming with the apps. You can have an account with them. You can just fill it up and you take a policy on the online.
Okay,
it's not a big deal at all.
Nadeem Khan.
Good evening, sir. My name is Nadeem. Thank you for explaining this session so very well. My question is regarding the perishable items. If you want to ship it from our factory or wherever the farmhouse is, so if you want to ship it in refridge, which you talked about the cooling refrigerator containers, how can we ship it from the factory or the farm directly? Because we have to load it in a trucks first hand, and then we'll get refridge at the port only, or some ICDs.
No, if it is a flag, see the reefer containers comes to your factories. Why you have to load on trucks? Directly load onto the reefer. It comes to your factory.
Okay, we can manage it with logistic.
We can manage. See, because it's a reefer container. It's see, you can't plants. If it is a plants, unloading, loading, it's a very tedious, and there's a lot of chances of breakages. So the container will come to your nursery or whatever it is. The plants are loaded onto the container. There are sealed, okay, and they are sent.
And so reefer container also for airways.
See, airways plants and all, it's not feasible. I mean, it depends. Like if you're just asking question, most of the time no plants are moved on airways. Okay, but any other cargos which are very
perishable fruits, like if you want to ship it from one country to another country.
Pardon?
Perishable fruits.
Fruits are going to send it by air only. Okay, next.
Fruits, yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Chandrasekhar.
Yeah.
This question is regarding reefer containers.
Yeah.
As you mentioned earlier, there are different temperatures required for different products. But how do you have this LCL condition here? How can you do that?
How do you?
The LCL, like
LCL.
Yeah.
See, LCL, there are few services available. Like it depends on the location to location also. You can even try for LCL depending on availability. Like there are not every time vessels. See the cargos. See now if it is non perishables. Let's say there are frequencies of vessels. They are going whether there is cargo or not. How the containers are leaving. If the vessels are not available, the cargoes are stored into the warehouses. But it is not possible in the case of perishables. You have a perishable LCL service required, then let us know. We will tell you when is the vessel, what is the frequencies, when it will reach. Accordingly, reverse planning can be done, and you can keep the cargoes ready, and the planning can be done.
Okay, so it all depends upon the availability of LCL.
Yes, availability is not regular because see, not everyone is coming with the LCL service of perishables. There are very few people require the services. It is again demand and supply.
Okay.
Next.
Thank you.
Sadanand.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, sir. Thank you very much for your nice presentation. I have first time we are doing this import-export, we are going to start. So I have a small doubt. What is the minimum volumetric which they are going to charge?
Sir, with the weight is concerned, 1 CBM also you can send. Export.
Okay, so thank you very much. Secondly, you are already answered for ICD, for Belgaum and Hubli. Because Pune, I am based at Pune, better directly sent to port.
Yeah, so Pune, sir, I'll tell you, blindly you can send to Nhava Sheva.
Okay, that's what.
Directly. Next.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Naval.
Hi, sir. Sir, my question was about the difference, like the freight charges, like general rough idea from Nhava Sheva to Europe. Like what are the difference, like broad difference between the full container and LCL? So on a per CBM basis, like what would be the, let's say the broader differences? Like.
Yeah, the freight doesn't depend on the products. It's on the container and the LCL. Container FCL, if it is your Nhava Sheva to Hamburg, you're sending it's about $2,500, $2,200, 40-footer containers. The freights are changing it's very dynamic in nature nowadays. Every vessel has a different freight nowadays. Okay, earlier it was monthly. Even now it's monthly, but sometimes freights are changing on weekly basis as well. So coming back to the LCL CBM, it could be $20 per CBM, it could be $30 per CBM, it could be $40 per CBM. So as I said, FCL is container-wise freight charged, and LCL is CBM-wise freight charged.
Okay, next.
Elavarasan.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
So in case of ICD, whether freight charges from ICD to ports would be an extra cost, or it would be the same price from port?
From your factory to the port is ICD is a different charge. Okay, is a transport. From ICD to the port is a different charge. It is mostly operated by the Concur by rail, or you can move by road also. So that is a different charge.
So then, like, what is the purpose of ICD, sir? If they are charging from ICD to port, then we can directly send the goods to ports.
See, it happens like, if you directly send it by road, then it is quite expensive. If you use ICD, there is a rail service. Okay. ICDs are the places where your customs clearance are done in your locations. You want your cargoes to be seen personally. Sometimes what I mean, send a cargo, but you're not able to see. You're not able to know what is happening. Sometimes it is possible. Okay, you want to see, you want to personally come and check the containers or whatever it is. It is possible to see in the ICD. Moreover, the ICD has a rail service. Rail services are much cheaper than the road.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Kavin Prasad.
In shipment option, is there is any maximum distance that is fixed on taking the container from CFS to our factory?
There's no distance, like, if it is nearby 2 kilometer wise, like most of the containers are moved in the nights, I mean, sometimes overnight journey, like 50 kilometers or 40 kilometers. Next day morning, early morning, the containers are in your factory and you can stuff the cargo.
Okay,
next. Ranjit Kumar.
Good evening, Chandrasekhar sir. It's a really nice session. Sir, my question is, there is a huge problem I have faced with Kazakhstan. Just wanted to know what is the connectivity from India to Kazakhstan. We are into trading of electrical goods.
Okay. You have already shipped to Kazakhstan?
No, sir. This is what problem I am facing last 3-4 years. There is a huge problem in connectivity.
Kazakhstan, mostly the gateways are from Bandar Abbas, Iran.
Yeah.
That is a present way. But I also come to know from Dubai also there's a route to go to Kazakhstan. But most frequent channel is Bandar Abbas. Okay. There is another terminal coming up with Iran that is called Chabar port, which is getting developed. And thus these ports are developed for movements into all the CIS countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, so many are there. So at the moment it goes to Bandar Abbas. From there it is going to the Kazakhstan.
What is the current status of right now?
What
is it viable? Every time I have seen this is not viable. In fact, in freight, as far as concerned, to freight, it is very expensive. It comes due to reason that it is going
everywhere. Now the present situation, the freights have gone up like multifolds.
Yes.
Anywhere, Colombo also it is unimaginable. Dubai is unimaginable.
Nowadays it is very costly.
So forget about Kazakhstan.
So
you have no other way.
Your company is taking some
yeah, we can handle it. No problem.
Okay.
Next.
Then I can contact.
We will give the share the contact.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Ishwar.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Yeah, namaste, sir.
Sir, actually, what insurance company is actually thinking regarding to how they are going to charge, sir? That means while I am exporting means they are going to charge on based on the country or based on the value or how they are going
based
to charge?
based on your invoice value. Okay, next.
No, only invoice, sir. Thank you.
Rajesh Mehra.
On invoice value.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Sir, bill of lading can be obtained after the ship is sailed or before it?
Before also, that's something called RFS, received for shipment. When the container is customs cleared and handed over the shipping lines, you can take the bill of lading. And after the sailing, it is called shipped on board bill of lading. Okay.
Shipped on board.
Before also,
Okay.
you can take it. No issue.
And one more question, sir. I have a manufacturer at Ponta Sahib, Himachal Pradesh, and I have to ship it to Congo, Angola, Nigeria, these places. So, what is the best way? How to move the consignment? LCL, FCL, both.
Sir, directly nowadays the Mundra and Kandla is more used. The frequencies are more there.
But it will be cheaper from Ponta Sahib to Mundra to you or Kandla?
Yeah. That could be cheaper for you because Nhava Sheva is more congested and even Mundra has become very big now. Mundra, Kandla and Pipavav, there is another option. So best way is this, what I feel. But sometimes what in calculations we see that Nhava Sheva is also cheaper. It depends we work out on overall costing. We'll see from your pickup location and we'll figure it out which is the best option for you.
Okay. I'll come back to you for that.
Yeah,
And sir, one short question. If I ship it through DHL, what is the difference?
See, DHL is see, you have less quantity, you send it by DHL. DHL
No, sometimes my buyer asks full consignment to DHL for SOS basis.
Yeah, see, you can ship to DHL, no issues. They are also offering all the logistics services.
Okay.
They are giving you sea freight also. They are giving you air freight. You know, if
Okay.
he is nominating DHL, then it's better you.
No, only through air, not for sea.
Sea
Only
also
through
they
air.
handle.
Okay.
Air also they handle. That's no problem.
Okay.
See, if it is
Okay.
buyer's nomination, you go with a buyer, whatever he says.
Because buyer's account is there.
If it's a
Buy.
choice is yours,
That
let
is
us
up to
know.
you.
You send a mail to us.
Thank
We'll
you. Thank
put
you.
all
Okay,
the-
next.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Jagadish.
Thank you very much.
Jagadish.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Thank you for the valuable session. My question is, as you said, when if we stuffed our goods from the factory, and if it reaches to the ICD and if it is damaged, so how we will get informed that the product is damaged in transit?
See, if it is goods have sent by truck and when offloading, when loading into the containers, it's visible. Like, you know, internal damages, we don't know. We can't say that. But, you know, damages are ascertained on the basis of the external picture. So when we find there is some damage, then definitely we'll brought to your notice. And, you know, the cargoes which are damaged is not exported, is returned back. We have to do some corrections in the shipping documents and they're replaced with the new one. Then we will send it as an export. This is the process.
Next.
Okay.
Jugraj.
Insurance are there to settle the claims.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Jugraj.
Namaste, sir. Hello.
Okay.
Hello, namaste.
Yeah, Jugraj ji, बोलिए.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir.
That is a very excellent session, and I am very thankful to you. But my question is that in spite of sending the goods to the port, we can order to our freight forwarding agent as a logistics to bring the container to our factory and stuff that our factory.
Yeah. Containers, empty containers always comes to your factory for stuffing.
So for stuffing, that is for a new exporter, it can be possible.
What's that?
For a new exporter, if he is a new exporter.
Yeah.
Possible.
See, new exporter is only if nowadays factory selling permission is must. So better you send a cargo to the ICD or the port. You know, it is the best option for you to do. Because you don't have factory selling permission, let us not do that. Or you apply for a factory selling permission, you will be obtaining for new customers also, they are giving you. After all the process, you will get it. But you have to wait for some time. Meanwhile, you have urgent orders, you can send it by truck. That's not a criteria of if you are not having factory selling or not export, nothing like that. You send the cargo to ICD, simple. And immediately the cargoes will be cleared and loaded into the containers and it's shipped out. Over.
Okay, next.
Satish.
Good evening, sir. This is Satish here from Bangalore. For us, the best option is Bangalore ICD for exports. Is it right?
Yeah,
or
best option.
Best.
Yeah.
Okay,
The other question is the switch label. Hello.
Switch.
Yeah.
Switch label. How does it work? Yeah, switch BL.
Yeah, we can handle it. You can send an inquiry to us.
Okay, next.
Nilafar.
Hi, good evening, sir. Nilafar from Mumbai. So I just wanted to check, how do I figure the weight and the container size that I will need of any item before production?
Yeah, you first decide about the packing and do the measurements of the packages. You have the measurements in the container. Then you can figure it out how many packages will get into that container. And what is the weight?
I have to individually weigh one first, and then I have to inform.
Yeah, you have to do all those things.
And how does the Admiral compare to, say, a DHL or a Aramex in terms of pricing?
They are the couriers. These people are the bulk shippers.
But
Okay,
they
next.
also do bulk,
Next.
right?
Yeah.
That
you
is very
decide,
costly for you.
based on the price and all. Okay.
Okay.
Service. There are different factors to analyze.
We need to compare.
Yeah, you please compare.
Nawaz Salim.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Hello, Chandrasekhar. So this was very much awesome, and I got almost the information. In this, I want to know two things. That is, like, whatever the return, if you send the goods to the some Dubai or something, if they're not accepting, what is the return fare? And whatever the damage, if there's any damage, so any charges or details of the damages, sir?
Yeah, it is different ports, different procedures and the pricing, sir. If it is gone to Dubai, they have not taken the cargo. Then we need to process for re-import. by giving application to the customs for the reasons. We need a letter from the shipper, we need a letter from consignee saying that he has rejected the cargo. If he is not in a position to give, he is not even giving that. Shipper's letter is enough. We need to apply in the customs. We need to pay the damages on the port, how many days it's lying. And the reverse ocean freight, the ship is coming back. All these things are there depending on the port to port. We can't say which port is having what is a tariff. We need to check on the tariffs and we can come back to you.
If any such thing comes, you contact Mr. Chandrasekhar. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Shahnawaz Abdul Rahim.
Hello.
Yes, please.
हाँ सर, मैं केरला से बात कर रहा हूँ। मैं तो मार्केट के लिए 500 रुपये का माल भेजने की ये स्टेनलेस स्टील का आइटम है।
Your voice is very low. Your voice is very low.
हेलो।
Yeah, now okay.
मैं तो 500 किलो माल भेजने के लिए सोच रहा हूँ। स्टेनलेस स्टील का मिथिल है, डी ब्रैकेट, क्लोरीन जैसा कुछ माल है। वो तो मैं 50 किलो का पैकेट में कर रहा हूँ, 10 पैकेट। वो तो कर मैं कोचिन पोर्ट का वो कस्टमर लॉजिस्टिक को भेज रहा हूँ। वहां से वो कंटेनर में कैसा एडजस्ट कर देगा, क्योंकि 20 फुट का कंटेनर में मेरा माल और दूसरा माल का पूरा लोडिंग कर देगा या अलग जाएगा, कैसा जाएगा ये माल?
सर इट्स नॉट क्लियर। सर आपका आवाज कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा।
नहीं,
आप सर से फोन पे बात कर सकते हैं सर।
चलो आप क्लैरिफाई करता हूँ बाद में। नेक्स्ट
Tahmina. Rashmi Nagendra.
Hello, sir. Thanks, Mr. Chandrasekhar, for your valuable guidance. I have a question. So, do you have any contact in Canada? Because I went through your website, but I did not find anything in Canada. And do you also do the custom Canadian customs in Canada?
See, like in the beginning of my introduction, like I was telling that we are there with our agent network worldwide. In the city, even in the country, we are with our agent. Canada, we do it. Any part of Canada, you can send us an inquiry. We can handle it. Yeah.
Ramurthy Peri.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, my question is a little bit different one. How much does it cost to own a container, and is it possible to get into container hiring business?
Yeah, you can. It's roughly about $10,000 to $15,000 new container.
Okay.
You can get into the business. There are leasing companies. There's so many there. You can take containers on lease and give it to sublease to somebody else. Also, it's a different ballgame business, and if you don't have experience, I don't suggest to get into this.
Okay.
This is a different subject altogether.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
R. Kumar.
So, sir, can you explain about CBM and weights difference?
Yeah, CBM is volumetric, no? Sea freight is a different formula and air freight is a different formula. We will share with you all those things.
Okay, next.
Varadarajan. Tahmina.
Sir, actually when we are doing exporting this rice, during this custom clearance, if they want to open the bags, and who will be the responsible or who will take care for the repacking and send it? If it is left as it is,
company will take care of that.
Who's that?
Logistics company who is dealing with you, they will ensure to repack and do everything.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Tahmina.
Yeah, hi. Good evening. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yes. Good evening, and thank you so much for the informative session. My question is, I'm based in Kashmir. My product, say I'm planning to export my product to UAE. So I would like to know which port would be nearest for me. I mean, Mundra or Mumbai. If I'm given the option of choosing the port, which one should I go for?
Yeah, for you, geographically seeing, it's a Mundra.
Yeah, right.
So you better opt for Mundra rather than Nhava Sheva.
Okay, and there is no ICD port near to my location, so I have to directly.
You have to come to Delhi,
Okay.
Tughlakabad. So
Okay.
from there, you have to do the customs process, everything, take the containers from ICD. You can do that also.
Oh,
If you
okay.
want to directly send it by truck to Mundra, that is also fine.
That is also fine. Okay.
Otherwise, you go to ICD to Tughlakabad,
Okay.
take the cargo there, and the customs
Okay.
clearance, the stuffing into the containers, everything is done in ICD to Tughlakabad.
Right,
And from there,
right.
the movement is done by rail movement to Mundra.
Right, right, right.
You can do that.
Okay, fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a great informative and educative section. I just wanted to ask you, how safe is it in LCL when, what do you say, in spite of CIF, how safe is our product thing, in LCL? Because it's a less container thing and a lot of other things are connected. So how one can assure?
See, make sure of the packing. Okay. If your cargo is very delicate, then do the wooden packing. Put a wooden fridge, put it on a wooden pallet, wrap it with the strings. This is all you have to do to safeguard your cargo. That is what I can say. Packing is play a major role in this. Without packing, you send or just the carton boxes. And there will be multiple handles, as you said, not only in India, but it goes to the transshipment. So multiple handlings will lead into more scope of damages. So the best way to safeguard is the best packing. What you have to do.
Strong packing.
Sorry, sir.
Strong packing.
Okay. So we have connects for those packers basically in Mumbai.
We'll give it to you.
Yes, many.
Great. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
last Dr. Lakshmikant.
Dr. Lakshmikant. No, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Hello, Chandrasekhar ji. Do your logistics deal with the exporting minerals like limestone varieties?
Yeah, everything they deal.
We do, yeah. We do that. It's basically a break bulk. Some goes to containers and in a lump form and different forms. Yeah, we do with it.
Okay.
We can send an inquiry. We can give you the quotation. We deal with that.
Okay. Is it from port to port or from the
everywhere?
factory
We
area?
from your site and deliver. That's not always an issue. We are specialized in the door-to-door services.
Okay.
Excellent.
Last one,
Thank
Sailesh.
you so much for your session.
Sailesh, last.
So good evening. I just want to ask one thing. If I want to send some textural meta product via LCL, so any platform is available wherein I can understand for the specific country if I want to send a package. Any about sort of a website or something where I can understand this container is going on this date, sort of.
Can you just repeat the question again?
If I want to send a perishable product, okay, via LCL, and so I want to understand, product.
Okay.
So I want to understand a platform or website wherein I can get to know when this container will be get loaded, sort of.
No, it's not generally published in the websites and all because it's a very special service. LCL Reefer is started picking up now. So it is on case-to-case basis. So you need to consult logistics guys and share your program. Then accordingly, as per the frequencies available, they will let you know. Then accordingly, you can plan to ship your cargoes.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Chandrasekhar ji, for valuable session and patience
Thank you, sir.
answering the questions.
Yeah.
So we will be sharing Mr. Sudhir number.
Yeah.
So team, you can share the Sudhir number. Again, we'll put all the numbers together, all the speakers
All
numbers
together.
also. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And thank you all to patiently hearing me. And thanks for very interesting questions as well. And thanks for bearing me. And hope you all had a nice session. Let's keep in touch. And anything is there, you rotate through, sir. We'll give you our details to contact. Anything is there, please email us. We are there to help you for any logistics requirements. Thank you very much. Have a
okay, sir. Thank you.
Nice evening. Thank you and good night.
Okay, friends. See you at 9:30. It's okay?
सर 9:36 30 मिनट्स दीजिए एटलीस्ट 24 मिनट्स हो जाएगा.
आप प्लेट लेके आ जाना टेबल के ऊपर. फर्क पड़ेगा.
So 9:30 is okay. Done. Deal.
Thank you.
9:30 is okay. Fine.
मैं नहीं ला सकता हूँ. You can bring your own plates.
Good. Anyhow, it is last day, so I think session is going up to 12.
Yeah.
The time is running. The time is running. Move out.
Yeah. Okay. Then.
सर फिर 12 गए तो केक कट करना पड़ेगा सर. 12 हो गया तो फिर.
चलिए. Okay. See you at 9:30.
I have to the last.